So this puzzle is one that I'm quite intrigued by. It is definitely unique compared to pretty much any other puzzle I think I've ever seen or probably ever will. This is extremely personal. It was actually something that my mother found in my grandparents' house while she was cleaning it out. And it is from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, which is where my grandparents are from. My grandmother, in particularly, my great-grandfather, was pretty much a bigwig in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. I've got so many articles on the man. It's insane. My grandmother was doing genealogy before she passed, and she found so many articles about her father, which makes sense because he was in the political world and the business world up in Beaver Valley, Pennsylvania. So this is a puzzle from there. I believe, from what little research I've been able to do on it, that it was probably a fundraiser kind of thing, where the names that are printed on the bottom all donated X amount to get it made, and then people were able to purchase it, I suppose. I don't know if I will ever be able to find any other copies of this puzzle, which I would love to be able to do. So if anyone knows anything about these kind of things, if anyone has any good ability to be able to find more copies of personalized puzzles, that would be cool. This is what I'm counting as the outside, the edge pieces, because it took me a couple layers to get them together. The pieces aren't cut, so they really fit. They slide around. The ins and outs aren't cut, so they actually lock in place. They just slide into place. So it was very difficult to get it all put together. It was a pretty easy puzzle altogether, but the pieces just wouldn't stay put for me. So I needed to put together a couple rows to make sure I had things right. But yeah, if anyone has any ability to find out more about this puzzle, I already contacted the Beaver Historical Society as well as the JC Center, and then nobody really seems to know anything about it, but I would love to have a few more copies of this if at all possible. I'd like to be able to leave one as a puzzle, but I'd also really like to be able to frame one, since again it's a part of my family's history. My great-grandfather's name is on it, so again, assumption is that the people whose names were on it at the bottom put in some money for it to be made as a fundraiser. But yeah, this is a pretty cool puzzle that I really enjoyed doing. It was pretty darn quick. Like you saw, it took me about an hour to do the outside. Again, did a couple rows just to make sure I had everything right. And then since it's basically just a cartoon drawing of the county, there were a lot of people who I was able to, figure out the orientation of the pieces from that, as well as all the bubble words. If you want to take a moment to pause at each spot and look a little closer and read things, you are more than welcome to do so. I'm going to try to go slow and steady. That way, hopefully, if you want to pause and read what's going on, you can. It's all about the local businesses for the most part. So yeah, I thought this was a pretty cool find. I'd love to have, like I said, I'd love to have a second one. We looked into the manufacturer as well, and that's over on the right. It's vertical, right past the eagle, right here. We looked into them, and they seem to be defunct now, so that's not very helpful. But yeah, this was cool. This was a really cool find. It's maybe 500 pieces. I calculated it up afterwards. I think it came up to being like 504 pieces or something. So just a tiny bit over 500. I would just call it a 500 piece puzzle. And you can see the shape of them now, how they're not really locking. They just slide in and out. So yeah, that is a part of my family history. My great-grandfather on my mother's side my mother's mother's father. Very much big name in town in Beaver, Pennsylvania. So, yeah, kind of cool. I've got a whole entire folder on different articles my grandmother found about him. I mean, it's full, like a 3-ring ring binder. It's a lot. So, yeah, that's that. If anyone wants to try to figure out more about this, please let me know. I'd appreciate it. And that's it for that one. Bye.